Welcome and welcome back to another episode over here at Olami. So make sure you've subscribed before we start. Yeah, and today we're doing something different. We're having some sort of like a mukbang but a chit chat at the same time. Yeah, so that's what we are doing. So over here I prepared this yummy chicken. Yeah, so if you haven't watched the video, just check the previous video and make sure to subscribe. Yeah, so so sweet. Let me tell you, you need to watch that video. So today we'll be talking about what you need to know before you go to Uganda. Yeah, so if you've been watching all my other episodes, you know that we've been in Uganda and we have toured the Namugongo Shrine, and so what it entails during the Martyrs' Day. We have done a day in Kampala, so we saw the Kampala town, we saw other activities, and then we also saw the source of River Nile. So if you haven't watched, check out the previous videos. You'll find the whole Ugandan series over there. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about what you need to know before you go to Uganda. So number one, this is what amazed me the most. The motorbikes in Uganda. Well, if you're a Kenyan, we need to apologize to actually our motorbike riders. Reason being, most people are even better. In Uganda, motorbikes are another crazy thing. Let me tell you, see now, saying the you shuka, when you're having traffic in Nairobi and then you want to go somewhere really quick, you say, let me chukua this boda. In Uganda, there's actually traffic for boda bodas. Imagine. Yani you have the cars and then there's traffic for boda bodas. That's how crazy and insane it is. So if you're a boda boda rider in Kenya, we really apologize. Well, over there, anyway. Yani even if you're driving, you have to actually wait for the boda bodas to pass. Then now you can pass. This is the same way you would normally look at cars if you're walking, to just wait for them to cross. Now imagine a car waiting for the boda bodas. That is how the boda bodas are in Uganda, so you can imagine. I really gave respect to our Kenyan boda riders after seeing the kind of traffic that the bodas have. Yani they even have their own queue for traffic. They queue in matatus or cars. That's how they also have queues or traffic for bodas. That is how insane it is. If you've ever gone to Uganda and seen that, let me know in the comment section below. And if you're a Kenyan, let me know what you think about it, and let's apologize honestly to our Kenyan boda riders, because Uganda is a whole other story when it comes to bodas. Yani, they are more, actually I can say they are more than actually the Kenyan, or more than the cars in Uganda or in Kampala. Especially if you're driving, there's a place called Mukono. Till you enter Kampala, you can actually spend a whole 2 hours because of traffic, and it's not only caused by cars, but it's also caused by pikipikis, bodas, motorbikes. Yeah, so if you're going to Uganda, just be aware of that. You might stay in traffic quite a lot, not only because of cars, but also because of the bodas over there. Yes, so that's how crazy it is. So I made the chicken wings. This is, I prefer the drumettes more than the wings themselves. So the whole recipe is available. Yeah, so the next thing you need to know when you're going to Uganda or Kampala, something that I liked is they are very clean. Especially like the Kampala town. It's very clean. I haven't been to Rwanda because they say Rwanda is one of the cleanest cities in the world. So, but I can imagine how Rwanda is from what I saw in Kampala. It's very clean. I felt embarrassed on behalf of my fellow Kenyans because like Nairobi city, oh my, sometimes wanajaribu, other times it's a whole other mess. So yeah, for Kampala town, it's very and absolutely clean, like very clean. That's something I really love, and I think our government officials need to go to Kampala. I know they once went to Rwanda to benchmark, but they also need to go to Kampala and actually implement what they see. Yeah, because the cleanliness over there, it's on a whole other level. Imagine if you watched my previous video, not the one for now, this chicken. If you watch now the one a day in Uganda, over there when I was showing you the downtown of Uganda, I was actually impressed by how clean it is. So make sure you check out that video. And it's downtown, but it's so clean, very minimal litter on the road. I mean, I was so impressed. So that is something you have to remember. And also imagine, they still use plastics, which because of environmental reasons it shouldn't be there, but imagine even with their plastic usage, you can't actually find litter around. So I would say kudos to the Kampala or the Ugandans, and also to the government for ensuring their city and their country is very clean. Wow, I mean, I was so impressed. Then the other thing you need to know, when you're going, especially if you're traveling by car and it's a foreign car, that is it's not a Ugandan car, doesn't have the Ugandan number plate, just know there are chances of you being, I wouldn't use the word harassed, but if you're choosing Tanzania, I would have used harassed, because the last time I was in Tanzania, the roads are very good, but in terms of the experience with the police, if you're having a foreign car, it was just disastrous. You're stopped at even without making a mistake. But that was for Tanzania, kindly. For Tanzania, you were stopped at every particular stop, police stop, just to be asked whether you have a fire extinguisher and what is this other thing? First aid kit, which that is okay to ask because you need them in your car, it's mandatory. But now the other thing is they're asking, why is it not Tanzanian branded? I mean, gosh. If you have been to Tanzania, let me know your experience on the roads with the traffic officers in Tanzania. But their roads are so beautiful. Even wonder why are they harassing foreigners, or let me say Kenyans, who are just traveling there with their personal cars, yet their roads are so good, they are so fabulous, but they are harassing you because of not having a branded Tanzanian fire extinguisher. I mean, a fire extinguisher is still a fire extinguisher, it will still do the work. A first aid kit is still a first aid kit, it will still do its work, whether it's a Tanzanian branded or a Kenyan branded one. So I didn't really understand that. But for Uganda now, the problem with Uganda is, I don't know whether they want to save on money from foreigners or say Kenyans, because now I'm talking from the point of a Kenyan, but there are places where you're actually not, let's say, because they have rules where the speed limit, mostly in cities or in centers, it's between 30 to 50, and then near Mabira Forest is about 50, and you're not supposed to overlap over there. But now, other than that, the other places, the speed limit is not really that monitored. But now, if you're traveling with a foreign car, you end up getting that if let's say a Ugandan overlaps, maybe let's say a lorry, because especially if you're a Kenyan, you know how we're impatient with lorries on the road. So you find if a Ugandan car overtakes a lorry, so you find now obviously you just overtake, because why should you go at a snail speed? Yet you can just overlap a bit, because if you're driving behind a lorry, you're just going at a snail speed. So you overlap, so you'll find that you'll actually be stopped and fined or penalized for that. Yet the Ugandan who has overlapped is all being penalized or fined for overlapping, where you're actually supposed to overlap. Then the other thing you have to note is also, I think the Ugandans need to mark their roads better, because there are places where you're actually not seeing even a line, whether it's a straight line or it's a dotted line, to know whether you're supposed to overlap or not. So due to lack of that line, you can't actually see when you're supposed to overlap or not. So you find at times the officers will stop you, yet you have passed together with the Ugandan. Atakusimamisha, akuuliza why you have passed. There is no actually marking on the road for some places, yet the fellow Ugandan are still overlapped. So over there, you just have to be very cautious once you're from whichever country and you cross into the Ugandan borders. Just make sure, if possible, you can even go at a speed of 30 to 50, and also try not to overlap, because I think they're very sensitive on overlapping, and speeds in centers, but for speeds in centers it's understandable, 30 to 50. But now outside, where there are even no markings on the road, they'll still stop you as a foreigner. So that wasn't a very good experience. So if you're going to Uganda with your personal car and you're not Ugandan, please just watch out on the speed limits and overlapping. Even if you see a Ugandan overlapping, I beg, don't dare overlap, because then they won't be penalized, but you will be penalized for that. And they'll ask in your currency, not in their currency. So you can't give them, so for them you find like 1,500 Kenya shillings is like 30,000 in Uganda. So they won't ask for the Ugandan shilling, they'll ask for your local currency shilling. Yeah, so just don't overlap or overspeed when you're in Uganda and you're a foreigner. Yeah, then the other thing is Uganda is actually very beautiful. That one I give it to them in terms of their landscape, their architecture, all that. It's so pretty, and especially Kampala, where it's surrounded by the 7 hills. Yeah, so because Kampala is actually a city surrounded by 7 hills, so it's very pretty. The sunset at night, the views very, very wonderful, very nice. I really love that. So if you're looking for a country where you can just relax and with a good scenery, especially if you get an apartment or a hotel with a room that is high, you'll enjoy the view from on top. That's what I can see. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, then the other thing is on food. Wow, I was actually surprised. If you watched the previous video, that is, you saw for Ugandan food, if you want to enjoy the local delicacy, by 3 actually their local delicacy in most places, like in Kampala town, is actually finished. So like for us, we had to open up for the local food through the supermarket, but we had intended to go now to a normal eatery to eat their local food. So just beware, if you want to eat local food, arrange yourself early enough and make sure you eat at least by 1-2, because by 3 you'll just be doing laps around the city looking for their local delicacy. But their food is so nice. I ate their beef katogo and the chicken, and I'll insist on this, the chicken. If you're in Uganda and you don't eat chicken, I beg you have not even eaten you have not eaten Ugandan food. Their chicken, their matoke, which they call the beef katogo, and their rollets. Those are 3 things you have to eat when you're in Uganda. Otherwise you won't have eaten any Ugandan delicacy if you're there. Yeah, and then also there's the luombo. Luombo, they have luombo in either goat, chicken, or I think it was cow, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, either of those 3. So make sure you eat those meals specifically when you're in Uganda. Yeah. Then the next thing that you need to know, this is the problem of not writing down. Yeah, so anyway, so if you're in Kenya, what you actually need when you're not going to Uganda, that is for East Africans, you actually need only your passport or the temporary permit. That is normally, I think, the temporary permit, they increased it to 1 year. So yeah, you only need your passport or temporary permit and the yellow fever certificate. That's all that you need. And if you're traveling by car, that is, if it's your own car, you also need your logbook to verify that it's your car. So you umeponyoka nayo from Kenya and you want to divert to other areas. Yeah, so you have to also remember that. Yeah, so that's it for the Ugandan series. Let me know where you want to see more of, and also which other recipes you want to see over here that we are making. And if you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe and share with your family and friends. So that's it from me. Goodbye, till next time. See you. Subscribe. Goodbye.